All right. Let's see if we got the stream going here. Been a minute. How we doing? How we doing? We got LiquidSnake versus Rebel Traitor. We got the ARH August monthly league Topcut match here. All right, gentlemen, let me just make sure we're good with the stream. Yo, Liquid, can you hear me? I want to make sure this is good before I publish it out. Alright, I think we're good. Let me go ahead and get this link out there, and we are going to have a good time. Posting it there. We're going to post it there. And of course, we got to drop it in the Dice Commando. All right, let's roll. Here we go. Rebel Traitor is, of course, running a support deck, it looks like. We got Cassian, Grief, Clone Commander Wolf versus Kara and Zeb. Strategic Discipline. We've heard about some infinite loop shenanigans that can happen with that plot. We'll be taking a look at that. Alright, well, hey, if you're tuning in, I appreciate it. Do my best to give you some good commentary and meta insights, but more so just entertainment. Alright, looks like we're playing on Undercity in game 1. The obligatory GLHF. So, we've seen Zeb have a couple of partners. I think most notably Sabine. He's pretty beastly. I wonder who Rebel will go for here. I guess Rebel's probably just wants some sort of support in his hand. He doesn't have any. I mean, he might get something with that Lavish Cape. We'll see. They both have Lavish Cape in their opening hands. Oh, it's just so good. There's Cassian, detect 1. It's not a May effect. Okay. So the good thing about Rebel's deck is, I mean, again, he doesn't have any dice cards in his opening hand here, but with Strategic Discipline, I think he can quickly acquire some right? So he's got some non-events there to reset his plot. It's absolutely bonkers what Strategic Discipline can achieve as far as card cycling. Oh, there it is, baby. You got the Bad Batch. You shouldn't have any problems getting... He does need to find that $4th. We'll see what happens. Let's see, do we have anyone tuning in yet? Hey! What's up, Norm? Norm, you're welcome to join if you like. If you want me to hop in a Discord channel, just let me know. There it is. There's his dollar. LiquidSnake can do nothing about it. Alright, let's see. Curious to see where Liquid's going to play that. Is he going to play the West Star or is he going to play the Whistling Birds? I guess he's probably going to go for the Whistling Birds, right? I mean, how do you not against a 3-wide? Yep, come on down, Norm. I'll drag you into the Jedi chambers. From Fortress Vader to the Jedi chambers. Welcome, my friend. What's up, Norm? So, wow, I'm shocked that LiquidSnake opted for the West Star instead of Whistling Birds against Rebel Traitor's 3-wide. Enlighten me, please. Oh, top tier player.
So I'm just catching up now, and yeah, I'm like, the only reason to do that, let's see, is he's thinking that he's going to be able to get additional resources? He's got two resources left, so he's gonna play both. One thing you kind of are doing in this case is, I can guarantee you he's thinking toward baiting. So watch him right now. I would not be surprised at all. Like he's thinking about the Whistling Birds, but if he's thinking straight, he's going to go, I need to activate Zeb first because he needs to draw out as much removal as he can. Now he doesn't realize that he's got that. Of course, Rebel's got double strike and a headstrong in his hand, as opposed to just like one thing of removal.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't be surprised if that's the strat at this point on his end, because that's what you're trying to do here is, draw out the removal and make him use his resources, and then push him into okay. But he's doing the Whistling Burst first, and he's putting it on Zeb, which is okay. I mean, sure.
Will Rebel care though? I mean, about Whistling Birds? Like, I feel like Rebel is gonna want to just drop that Bad Batch, because if he plays Headstrong or any other card, he doesn't get to. Let's see, what does this card do again? Remove a die showing a value of 1 or more, and then each opponent. Okay, I guess that's free removal.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
I mean, it's funny to consider, like, part of my original design of this Kara Zeb deck was in order to combat Cassian. And but it can't necessarily combat Cassian when it draws into double strike a deal on turn 1. Yeah. But it's much more difficult that way.
What is it particularly about Kara Zeb that you feel counters Cassian?
So the hypothesis of the deck is foundationally that you're trying to out speed Cassian while it's trying to ramp into big supports that will probably reach critical mass in turn 3 in particular, sometimes on turn 2. It wants to disrupt that by basically ramping into multiple upgrades that are going to do big damage on turn 1 and 2 so that it basically can't reach critical mass as the reset deck.
Yep.
So it's saying, in the classic, like, what's the in the beat, who's the beatdown and who's the control question. Karazeb is the beatdown. It says, I am going to be the beatdown. You have to deal with me. And so that's what, forcing Cassian potentially off of its game plan.
Interesting. Oh, we did see Rebel immediately remove the Whistling Birds die. It's a no-brainer. No matter what it rolled, I think as long as it wasn't a blank, he was going to instant remove it.
Yeah. Yeah, no way I would have guessed that. Now I'll be actually kind of caught up.
Yep.
All right. Hey, fun trick. Press F11 and you can turn off your HUD.
Okay. Be a little more real estate here. I haven't streamed it so long. That's nice. I like that. Yeah, because I really don't need that for no reason.
Yep.
I mean, all right. Well, let's see where. I mean, Rebel being the shrewd player he is, he will probably not go for Kara, right? Maybe worried about the first aid. I mean, these lists are published.
Yeah, I would imagine that he's going to avoid that first aid if he can. So he did get 5 damage so far into Grief, which is definitely not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, so I missed that. When did he get the second black market after activating both?
I believe he drew into it with
okay. Discipline. Well, I mean that is the idea, but this is
that's pretty bonkers value there. Round 1.
That's what you want. That's what you want. I'll see if he remembers to reset the strat discipline as well. And reset strat discipline. And he can't. Okay, well, he doesn't remember. That's one of the other stupid things about it, is that things like black market connection actually, when you use it like that, it'll actually go through a full cycle on strategic discipline. Right,
because it's an event that caps it, and then you end up playing a non-event, right? So Luke's offer would be the same, right?
Yep. Luke's offer.
That's a big deal. I mean, yeah, with a card like that, you absolutely want to maximize. You don't want to miss that trigger.
Yeah, I mean, it may not matter in this particular case. Well, no, it will, because has a contraband seizure in his hand.
Yep.
Although it would not be too surprising here. I know it may sound a little crazy, but like going ahead with double Whistling Birds here, overriding the West Star with the Whistling Birds. He's thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, double Whistling Birds, you could
against the 3 wide. I mean,
melt hot knife.
Yeah. I mean, what it'll do is that it just really, really forces RT to like focus in on eliminating the modifiers more than anything else. But like that, it kind of Oh, what in the? Okay. So I kind of, it's his choice, and maybe he's got an idea of what he wants to do. But I'm thinking that he actually like legit didn't need to do that, considering that he should have reset the black market with the black market connection anyway.
Yeah.
But all good, whatever, man.
Well, hey Norm, that's why you win
No,
Worlds.
no. This was actually a contender in my final choices for Worlds decks.
I mean, I say that like, being semi sort of joking, but I mean it's true. Like a player like you, and you just if you literally catch every single trigger, maximize every probability and decision. I mean you're gonna come out on top.
Yeah, it's plain. It's one of the interesting things about the game. This game is that there are so many things that do come down to probabilities. It's a lot. Sometimes it's literally just, well, how do I set myself up in the position that gives me the greatest probability of coming out on top? And yeah, and you're gonna miss stuff. Like, you just watch the final rounds from this weekend's tournament. I mean, I missed so many triggers, especially on Westar. Oh my gosh, it was embarrassing. But it is what it is. Here's the reset. Yeah. He is going hard on Zeb here, too.
I see a copy of Promotion there in LiquidSnake's deck.
Yes, sir. That was a later addition to the deck. Part of what I didn't like, I didn't reach the final form on this deck really until like last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you even saw like when we were playing around on Friday night, and I was playing against Brody, and I was making some modifications, but I learned important lessons during those games.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think it finally clicked as to why certain cards absolutely had to be in the deck. And Promotion was actually a late addition, but it's actually like really, really good in this deck.
Wow.
When you looky there, that feels good, huh? Oh, there's a strike a deal. That's is what it is, but like them's the breaks, right?
Them's the breaks.
Them's the breaks. So not a whole lot for Snake to do here. He's probably just looking at this and going, probably need to hang out for a minute and use this field medic when I have opportunity to.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to make a choice here. Okay, he's going to go for an engineer, which means he really wants that focus, which he gets. That's going to guarantee him 2 damage. Clone Trooper gets a blank. He's got a few rerolls here.
Is he
actually
gonna try to get $3 to get out that Tusken camp?
That actually may be more what he's trying to do at this point, but that's
a
little difficult.
It's a tall order, but again, probabilities.
Yeah, if he had rolled into a resource, well, so he ends up taking. Okay, so he just ends up taking the shield. So he's going to get a couple more damage out of this. He wants to keep these other cards in his hand, the Tusken camp.
Let's take a look at the.
Okay, so this is yeah. This is another smart move. Unique Perspectives is really good. So I think it's fairly clear that like RT is ahead right now. It's strangely enough. I mean, the board state is kind of somewhat in favor of the Karazeb. He's got 8 resources worth of stuff out compared to the 4, but the damage and shields, something.
I'm going to... Alright, let me zoom out here and we'll show the hands. I want to get the bracket here. Give me a second. Man, I'm rusty on my streaming here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. So that's the bracket. I'm just going to flash it here in the middle in case anyone who's wondering. Again, this is our ARH August League Topcut. So we're still in round 1. You can see here we've got Rebel versus LiquidSnake. Random Mando and Stevdav played last night, and looks like Stevdav won that match. And then, of course, Norm, who's with us today, and played last night as well. And Norm came out on top there. So we still have to see Beacon and Hypo. So
something slice terminal.
Yes, that was love seeing that card. I love seeing old tech cards make their way back into the meta. It's interesting because all of the hand reveal mechanisms with that deck, with Reiko, Callus, you know, the battlefield, with you know, Reiko's activation, with what is it? Callus's PA. I mean, it makes Slice Terminal so good.
Yeah, it definitely gives it some extra viability. So, you know, I'm trying it out again.
So when you're building a deck like that, and you're thinking to yourself, or no, you know, when a set first drops and you see someone like Callus, you're like, okay, his PA lets me look at someone's entire hand. I mean, at what point do the wheels start spinning and you're like, oh, hey, this card, you know, 4 sets ago, Slice Terminal might be good again? Like, does it click in that moment, or does it click through cycles of iteration? You know? Or are you just so brilliant that you just see it?
I would say so. There's a couple steps in the process. You know, it was when the set initially dropped, and like Seeking Answers, I was very interested in Callus, but it was kind of overshadowed at the time by Ray, and so the focus really went into Ray. And we hadn't had a whole lot of time yet to really see what a reduced in cost Reiko Hardin could do. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, there was kind of the initial talk about, you know, Reiko Callus, and it struck me as being like, okay, this is interesting, but I'm not sure I want to do this yet. And sometimes you just need things to simmer for a while so that you can then, you know, approach seeing the value. What kind of dawned on me eventually was that it had most of the capabilities of doing what I wanted to do with the Jinhan cycling deck, and then it also became evident that, you know, when we started playing with it, is like, oh, this can take on the capacity that the Sinjir Chewy deck could do in playing Black Market Connection, but getting it faster, but also using the good support, like value support package, since it just kept getting better. And so I think we kind of reached a critical mass at that point. It's like, oh, well, and then Tuscan Camp, I think, really also accelerates it. Yep. That card is just so good and just gives you an extra bit of value on, like, you know, general and whatnot. So it became pretty, I don't know, let's just say, you know, it became rather evident with time that it was going to be a tier 1 deck. But even then, like, the reason why I was hunting after Kara Zeb and trying to make this strategic discipline deck work as a possibility for Worlds was that, like, I wasn't certain about the deck, and in particular because of Cassian Reset, and then also Mill. I just didn't have, like, I didn't feel like I was ridiculously confident, you know, in the matchups. with these other tier 1 decks. And when you go in the tank for a while and you realize, oh, the answer is now evident. It's Commando Raid. And so making some adjustments in that respect, and it's just like suddenly the matches that looked very bad ended up looking very good. And to where I feel pretty confident that the deck is about in, like there's some flex cards and some even trying out some new ones in this Topcut. But overall, I feel like it's arguably, equal match with any other tier 1 deck you can throw at it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you feel like that, match to match, it's going to be really clean and even. That's when you just have to start elevating your play. Hone your sequencing, get it right, practice it up, know the card pool, know the possibilities, and take advantage of the information that you have in any given game, which is where things like Cloud City make a difference. I used to not play Cloud City in the deck as the battlefield, but I mean, that was wrong. It was just wrong. Cloud City is very clearly the best battlefield for that deck.
Yep. What's your opinion on the state of card draw in the game?
Too much? Strategic planning is overkill. I mean, we have been discussing off and on today with the Infinite Loop that we kind of have just sort of pseudo-discovered. It has emerged.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just a matter of time. But I think that strategic discipline is probably too much. You can make an argument for why certain things should be potentially restricted together, like maybe Contraband Seizure and Lavish Cape or something like that. But it would be, I mean, it's kind of funny, to consider the other possibilities, though. It's like, with these cards that don't do much other than draw you stuff. I mean, Lavish Cape is one of those where maybe a little too good on it. Like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, Shield Plus replaces itself for 0.
Pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. But like, there's other options that you can throw in if you really need to. You want to build in card draw. I mean, if for instance, if Lavish Cape got restricted with Contraband Seizure, well, probably I replace one of those. Probably the Contraband Seizure. No. I'd probably replace the Lavish Capes with Promotion.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, sorry, back to the game. LiquidSnake is changing targets.
Uh-oh.
Over to Cassian. I've been there before. It is a question that often comes up. I mean, it's the age-old question of, well, okay, I mean, I'm not making progress here. Do I just switch? Because Cassian is the real threat. I couldn't kill Grief fast enough to turn off Spot Yellow. I mean, I assume that's why you go for Grief. To turn off Spot Yellow, and then it's just like, well, okay, I guess I'll cut my losses and just switch over to Cassian, who is the real threat. Is that what you think? That's what he's thinking?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it at this point. I think he's just, he got out sequenced. Like, the cards came up in RT's favor here.
Well, RT is his pants are down. He has nothing left to do about any of Liquid's dice.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens, but that does hurt.
So he does. So because of that, you kind of probably feel like, now he's got to make a choice here. He's got to keep the Vibro, but what is he going to get rid of? Yeah, the standard issue.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's probably feeling like if he can get close to a kill on Cassian, then he can maybe turn one. Just activate in and West Arm. But he's not. He's got to get pretty much max damage out of this at this point, which means he's got to reroll here.
Yep. that hurts.
Yep, that's that's the way the cookie crumbles.
And here comes the Razor Crest. It's a good one.
Derp.
I suppose the other thing you could do about card draw is maybe introduce mechanics that punish it. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yep, that's one thing that can be done as well.
Looking for guns in melee.
Where are my guns? Where are my guns? Ooh, okay.
Well, he'll get some damage and a shield.
Oh, that's fun. Getting a gift out of this. Of course, there's no point to even resolving that.
Rebel's just... Oh, man. The way that this deck can just spew out the supports. So yeah, appreciate everybody tuning in here again. For anyone who may have just joined, this is the August League Topcut. And that is League 45, in case anyone was wondering.
45 months.
45 months. And that, of course, that's not... that goes all the way back to Artificery. I think. I might be wrong there.
That is true.
Okay, I was going to say, because I'm pretty sure we haven't done it for 45 months.
That's correct.
Yeah. So that's sort of an homage to the... to what the Artificery crew had started many years ago.
Yep. The Continuation League.
Alright, we are going to reset. Head into round 3. Again, this is game 1. LiquidSnake is behind here against Rebel Traitor's Cassian reset. See what we're working with. Rebel Traitor's got another Headstrong. It's just absolutely brutal.
Okay, yeah. I think probably if Kara just activates here or does 2 damage into Cassian, and if he Headstrongs, that's probably like that would probably be a scoop level move right there.
Yeah,
like unless he just rolls nothing, like absolute max damage doesn't happen. But like, yeah, I mean, if he Headstrong away a couple things here, and then like you're not even gonna, there's not enough. Like 9 damage.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's the Headstrong. Yep. You're in scoop territory now, son. Seeing if he can actually take down Cassian here. Nope. So now so at this point it's like, he's even going to get the reset off. So like, there's just no way that he can. Cassian will have done everything that he needed to do the turn.
What's insane is the value LiquidSnake was able to get out round 1. He had a Vibro Sword from Black Market Connection. He had, of course, he didn't get to roll in all these dice that I'm about to list, but he did get, Whistling Birds, Westar, and the Vibro.
Yeah.
And yet, still somehow fell behind.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where like it's an interesting dichotomy here because part of the reason he had those resources was because of the strike of deals.
Yeah.
You know, the strike of deals gave him the resources, which enabled him to bring up more dice, which he couldn't end up actually using there. So, you know, there's probably something interesting to be said there, I think.
Yeah, Striker Deal's pretty good.
Strike of deals really good, you know, although I feel like it's not actually as good in this particular Kara Zeb deck because you kind of don't want to have to use it so that you don't want to give your opponent more resources to give you or to potentially remove stuff because like you need to strike hard and fast. Giving them resources is not a strike of deal is a great late game card, not so good always on the early game.
Yeah.
A lot of times in early game, I'm willing to trade 2 damage for a resource. So if you strike a deal me, you may be doing exactly what I want you to do. So just a thing.
Yep. I like cards that pose interesting decision points. You know.
Oh yeah.
This
always.
for that. What am I willing to give up to progress my plan?
Okay. All right. Well, I hate to be a spoil sport here, but part of the reason I didn't want to host tonight was that I was going to be. My wife was asking if we were going to watch our show tonight together before her bedtime, and that needs to happen.
Yep. We watched our show. Handmaid's Tale is our show currently.
All right.
It's a good one.
We're on True.
What is it?
We're on True Detective right now. So
which season?
1.
Season. Oh, that is the absolute best season. That is the. Oh my gosh, Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. Man, they make such a great pair. Anyway, that's awesome, man. Yeah, go enjoy that.
Yep.
Thanks for coming out, Norm.
Happy to join in, and obviously I'm kind of rooting for my deck to do well, but we'll see what happens.
Well, you might be facing the mirror match, depending, or you know, against this Cassian deck. So
sure,
you have a vested interest.
Oh yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming out.
We'll catch you later.
Yep. See you, Norm. Lots of dice yet to be resolved here. It's not looking good for LiquidSnake, but I tell you, he's hanging on. Does look like Rebel's out of removal, but he does have that unique perspective, so in a way that's mitigation. He's going to get a heal off on Cassian. Yeah, these top tier players, I mean, they have some grit, I will say. If I was in Liquid's position, I would have just scooped and said, let's move on. Let's go to game 2. I'm done with this. I'm gonna try again. So that's gonna land if he wanted to. He probably re-rolls the West Star though. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can focus. You still have to throw out the Bad Batch and the Razor Crest. Yeah, I mean, Rebel's just gonna slowly make his way to lethal here. Again, anyone who is just tuning in, this is the ARH League Top Cut for the August League. Of course, we're in September now, but this is the Top Cut that takes place for the best of the best for the August standings. So you can see we're still in round 1. It does look like their Liquid's going to go ahead and lose that one, so we'll move on to game 2. But yeah, this is the bracket. So round 1, we've got Rebel Traitor, of course, here against LiquidSnake. Rebel did just win game 1. They're playing a best of 3. So we'll see what shakes out in game 2. Last night, in round 1, we had StepDab and Random Mando. StepDab was able to take that one. I was able to catch a little bit of that match. I did actually catch the Norman and match. And Norman took that one. It was interesting to see that Eric brought out Hondo and the double loyalist. That was interesting. I hadn't seen that thing in a long time. And then yet to be played is Beacon and Hypo. So you'll see what happens. Well, if you're Rebel, you love to see BB-8 in your opening hand. Last, in game 1, Rebel didn't have a single diced card in his opening hand. But of course, with Strategic Discipline and a couple of other non-events like a bounty, just didn't matter. He drew into them, he drew into a bad batch. Shows the power of card draw in this game and card cycle. You know, Liquid also managed to get down, I think, maybe 7 resources worth of upgrades in the last game, round 1, but still he fell to just the overwhelming power of the Cassian reset. So we'll see what happens here in game 2. Looks like we're going to be on Undercity again. So last game, Rebel had a really good opening hand as far as removal. I mean, he had 2 Strike of Deals. He was able to immediately get rid of the Whistling Birds. So Liquid didn't get a single Whistling Bird resolution off. So we'll see if he's able to do that this time. I mean, I think that would help him significantly to get that splash damage. Rebel would probably be quite happy to lay down a Outrider here early in the game, potentially with a Grief Focus die in the pool, perhaps. We'll see what happens. You can just get an incredible ramp from that. He just has the Strike a Deal, so we'll see. Liquid, I think, is in a much better position this game, considering that Rebel isn't stacked with 0 cost removal, just the 1 Strike a Deal. Another promotion. Here comes the Elite BB-8. No surprises there. Thinking Liquid's probably going to activate Kara here pretty soon. Maybe look for $1 and then lay. At this point, I mean, he probably lays the bow rifle on Zeb. I mean, Whistling Birds would be nice, but he just won't have any money for that pay side. And that, nothing worse than having a stranded die. Of course, he could overwrite one of those promotions as well. It's an option. I'm sure Rebel is planning to save his Cassian reset for BB-8. Looking for more money and specials on that little droid. So it looks like Liquid did draw into a truce. That might affect his decision as to whether he plays the bow rifle or the Whistling Birds on Zeb. I think Rebel is absolutely going to save that strike a deal for a more threatening die. He's not overly concerned about a 2 melee right now, being that strike a deal is his only mitigation. Yeah, I think the red-yellow hero meta has been... I mean, the story is card draw and cycling. Contraband seizure, lavish cape, strategic discipline, promotion, commando raid. How can I see my deck? How can I penetrate into my deck faster to see the cards I want sooner? It's just so powerful. Hope you guys are having a good night. It is, of course, Wednesday night, 11, a little after 11 Eastern here in the US, Eastern time zone. Been a short week, as we had a holiday on Monday. Happy about that. If anyone's caught any of our recent podcasts, let us know what you think. Would love the feedback. And let us know what else you'd like to hear. We do have a... we are planning to do a meta breakdown video with Rebel Traitor himself, who is the man here playing this Cassian Reset deck. So he's actually done a ton of research, and we have some really interesting stuff to share with you guys. So hopefully here in the next week or so we'll have a chance to do that video cast and see what they're chatting about. Okay. Hopefully we'll have a chance to do that soon. Have some really good insights for you guys, and yeah, stay tuned for that. Discarding a West Star. He does get the money. I think that will allow him to, I think, play Whistling Birds onto Zeb. And then he keeps the truce for maybe the pay side. Or he may just play the bow rifle. We'll see. Takes the money. Overwrites with a standard issue blaster, rolls it in. That's good value there. Especially when it rolls money. And lets you reset your plot. Yeah. Now I'm sure Liquid's feeling pretty comfortable to play really whatever upgrade he pleases now at this point on Zeb. Especially with Truce there in the hopper. So the question's going to be, how much damage can he push through? And then for Rebel, is he going to be able to lay this Outrider? I think the odds are, at this point, with 3 resources, are looking pretty good. He hasn't used his Cassian reset yet. I'm sure he will, I mean, he can easily reset with the Lavish Kate, with the Strike a Deal, or even with that Wanted Bounty. All he has to do is PA Cassian, play a yellow card, and voila. Here comes Zeb. That's a nice roll. So Rebel can only deal with 1 of those dice. Any die that has a value of 1 or more with his Strike a Deal. I'm thinking he will... Well, let's just see. I'm not even going to predict. PA Cassian, Strike a Deal. Let's see. What's he going to get rid of? Yep, the base side. I mean, I guess that was perhaps obvious, but buys him a few actions. Kara's got 3 melee sides, though. I mean, if you're Liquid, you leave that monstrous +3 on the Vibro. And risk it with the Kara 50% melee sides. I'm not sure. Perhaps because this is game 2 and he lost game 1, maybe he's going to be a little more conservative here. We'll see. So, jeez. With his strategic discipline, Rebel did draw into a bad batch, so... Wow, okay, there we go. 4 damage. Plus the 2. It's going to be 6 damage. And it is going to allow him to draw a card with Zeb's ability. So Rebel is got a fistful of non-events here. I'm really curious if he's going to play the Outrider or the Bad Batch when he gets his 4th resource, which I mean is all but certain with BB-8. Plus that Clone Trooper die in the pool. Plenty of cards to pitch to reroll. Alright, let's see who Liquid goes for here. I mean, if Liquid's feeling froggy, he might use that Focus. Because if Rebel hasn't removed anything at this point, he may be thinking... Yeah, he may be thinking let's focus into a +3 on Zeb. Or discard reroll, that makes more sense. Of course, Rebel is going to pitch to reroll before he activates BB-8 again. Doesn't care about that shield. What an interesting first round. gets a focus, as I'm sure he will use to focus into money. There you go. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 damage. And he can focus Kara to a 2. He's got 11. That's not enough to take out Cassian. He needs 12. But he can take out Grief if he focuses Kara to the 2. Which, I mean, I'm sure he will at some point. Yep. So I think we have a dead Grief on our hands. Nothing Rebel can do about that. That's going to be huge for Liquid. And he's going to get to draw 2 cards. After you resolve this die. Yep. He might be thinking, do I leave Cassian with 1 health and just snipe him next round? But the thing is, I'm pretty sure both of his Westars are in the discard pile, so I don't know, I think you just kill Grief here. Yeah. Yeah, that's huge. Much different game than game 1. Again, for anyone just tuning in, this is game 2. Rebel won the game 1. This is our ARH monthly league top cut for August. He's going to go ahead and claim at this point. He figures... Oh, he's not even going to posture. I mean, I don't know why you claim there when Rebel's got 4 resources. I guess you're... He's going to lay down this, see what he gets. Yeah, I'm confused by that claim by Liquid. I mean, I feel like that's what the pros tell us. You pass, even just to posture that you have something. But maybe he felt pretty content that he just killed a character. Yeah, I mean, Rebel's gonna get another support out here. I mean, he's almost certain to roll money, yep, with these Rebel engineers in the pool. He's gonna lay his Outrider. Man, it's just unbelievable value. Look at this. 3 guns. I'm sure he'd rather see the special. I think he just put his redemption on the bottom. I missed that. I don't want to look, mess anything up. Agreed, $1. Oh my god. I just gotta draw another card with Lavish Cape. Oh, it's unbelievable. Oh my god. It's just ridiculous. Oh, I can't take it. Oh man, there's the Razor Crest. Looking, I'm sure he would love to see a focus right now. Nope, 5 damage is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, Kara, at this point you're not worried about first aid because your opponent already claimed. Alright, that was a pretty eventful round 1, I have to say. So Rebels, again, pretty light on removal. He just has, again, the 1 strike a deal. He was able to really neuter LiquidSnake's round 1 in game 1 because he had 2 strike a deals. The last round 1 we had just now, I mean, he just had the 1 strike a deal, and then again, he only has the 1 strike a deal. So he doesn't have his headstrongs like he did last game. He didn't draw those, which is just, I mean, how many cards did he draw and still hasn't seen that? It's just, that happens. So that's going to be really helpful, I think, for Snake. We can really catch him with his pants down again. Okay. Just gonna flash this up one more time because it's fun. So here's our bracket. This is the ARH League 45 bracket. This is our top cut. We're currently in round 1. We are watching Rebel Cena versus LiquidSnake. Last night was the StepDav and Random Mando game. StepDav took that one. Last night was also Norm and Eric, Norm took that one. Still need to see Beacon Fire play. So yeah, looks like the winner of this game will be playing StepDav. All right, back to the game here. Whoops. Uh-oh, what did I do? Silly me. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. Looks like Rebel activated the Bad Batch first. I guess that is just the optimal target for the Cassian reset. Oh, there's the special. Let's see. Gets a Tusken Camp. That would be a nice one to bottom deck and special into. And it doesn't look like Liquid's going to be able to do anything about it. Liquid's only real removal here is that Ambin Blaster for a character die. Which, in a Cassian reset deck, your character dice are the least potent dice in your deck. So that's not going to do any good. Here comes Kara. I think this will probably be Snake's first clue that Rebel is light on removal. And I think Rebel, realizing that Snake, of course, is himself light on removal, as he didn't even consider that Outrider special, I think he's just going to be content to leave it there. I don't know, we'll see. The damage is going to come very quickly, so I think Rebel is probably very aware of that. He only has so many actions before he potentially loses a character here. Yeah, here comes Zeb. Some scary dice on the way. Okay, there's a 3. That one, of course, on the Viro is worth 3. It's increased by 1 for being on a unique character, and on an elite character, increased by another 1. Immediately removes that. And that's it. I mean, let's see, drew into a moisture farm. That's not going to help him as far as mitigation. Yeah, I mean, if I'm Snake, I'd probably discard the Ambin. It's just not really any good in this matchup. Maybe he keeps it to get rid of a clone trooper gun later in the game, and then that might, allow him to do something with his plot to reset it. Big reroll here. Alright. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. But it's gonna take... What does she say again? You may resolve her... Yep. So... I think it's gonna take him 2 actions to get this damage through. It's interesting. I don't believe Rebel has used the bounty board a single time in either game. I mean, he has just so much card draw. I mean, the bounty board is obviously comes with grief. It's useful if you need to pull a card for re-rolling, pull a bounty from your deck to re-roll, or just to pull a bounty, which is of course going to be yellow, and then allows you to reset Cassian. Or PA Cassian to reset something. But, I mean, the card draw is just so prevalent in this deck that he doesn't even need to use the bounty board. It's obsolete. Okay, Snake is going to pitch that Ambin. Doesn't get anything. He needs 2 more damage for lethal on Cassian. And I mean, that could quickly change as Rebel with his plot and card draw, right? He's got Contraband Seizure, he's got ways to reset his plot and draw again. I mean, he could easily draw into more removal. So it's by no means is it a done deal, right? Because your opponent can't remove anything now doesn't mean they won't draw into something with their insane card draw engine. So, sure, Liquid's got to be thinking about that. I mean, he only has so many chances to reroll into it here. Plus the multiple actions it's going to take to resolve these dice, these mixed sides. Even though your Kara can resolve his melee or guns, it's still going to, I think, take two resolutions. Alright, there you go. He needed that. So... I think he can resolve all of that in one fell swoop, actually. Because he can declare... He may resolve the same as they're arranged, and then she basically says the same thing. Yeah, so this can all come at once into Cassian. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 13. I mean, you gotta just overkill by 1. And you're gonna get to draw 2 cards there with the Zeb passive. Yep, sink the 13, take him out, remove his +2 from the pool. Pretty happy about that. Now you just have to chew through 8 health and a shield on this Clone Commander Wolf. Yeah, Snake's in a much better position. Now he might lose Kara this turn, but I mean it's by no means a done deal for Snake. He still has a battle ahead of him. But again, much better position than last time. He's gonna reap. Okay. He's probably looking for some mitigation there. Looks like it's on Snake. He's gonna reset the plot. Probably first aid Kara. Wow, Rebel has oh no, never mind. Okay, that headstrong might come in handy. At this point, though, most of the dice are already in the pool. BMC. I'm not sure if the other copy is in the discard or not. I don't believe it is. Looks like he's checking himself. Oh, he does not use that to play Tuscan Camp. He's trying to get the kill on Kara, but interesting. I mean, he has so many dice in the pool. I guess he just really wants to ensure her death. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't see a way that Kara lives here. Well, that's not what he needed. Oh, I guess he had lethal. I missed that. Yep, there you go. It's a pretty scary Zeb. So there is a very real chance that Rebel draws into, I mean, I guess what other supports are left in his deck? He has Redemption, Tuscan Camp. I mean, he very well may find a way to draw into one of those and get some additional damage through here. Wow. That's what he needs. He's going to claim. Okay. Yep. I think Liquid was holding on tight to that headstrong. Maybe just in case he saw Tuscan Camp. Maybe that rolled out some 3-for-1s potentially. Well, Rebels finally found his headstrongs with their dead cards now. Alright, so very interesting game here. The only mitigation that Rebel has are these first aids. So he's in bad shape if Snake can manage to re-roll into lethal. I mean, he only needs 9. I mean, with these massive dice, right? When you're looking at Zeb, you're looking at a Vibro Sword. I mean, it's not outside the realm of possibility. Let's see if Snake can get there. So just as a reminder for anyone tuning in, Rebel Traitor did win game 1. This is currently game 2. If Snake can manage to win, then we'll move on to game 3. Yeah, Snake's got to hold on to that first aid. That's going to come in handy. Or excuse me, the field medic, not first aid. The first aid is useless to him. Alright, let's see. Can he get 9 damage? He's got 4 on the board now. Can he get 5 more? There's 3. I mean, that Vibro reroll is has pretty good odds to roll into damage. I'm trying to think what Rebel could have up his sleeve. I don't see anything. I mean, I guess there's these... Yeah, because you're going to resolve it in one fell swoop. Those first aids aren't going to do anything. I'm surprised Rebel hasn't PA'd the battlefield yet. Maybe he knows his deck super well. I mean, I'm sure he does. Maybe he realizes there is no more mitigation that would help him. So he's not concerned about using the battlefield. He's already used both of his strike a deal. Headstrong is offline. What other multi-die removal would he even have? So, okay, he's gonna play that upgrade. Of course, it's immediately gonna fall off. Yeah, I mean, I guess Rebel does have 7 damage here. He's gonna take that back. I don't know what I'm talking about over here. That is lethal. Yeah. He's gonna go ahead and sink it. Maybe. So Snake needs to reroll that Vibro and hit one of its 4 damage sides, and he wins. I don't see any other way that Rebel can get out of it. He gets there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's exactly lethal. That's unless I'm wrong here, pretty sure that's a game. I think Rebel was looking for a shield there. Yep. Oh no, he can do the healing now. Yeah, that's... I don't know why I was thinking he could resolve all that at once. Hey, that hurts. Yep, that really hurts. Well. He's got to get the bigger set on that Vibra. There's a 4. Wow. Okay. Yep, he had, he's going to be 1 off from lethal here. It's gross. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's gonna be it. Unless this can roll some damage here. Rebel can just focus into lethal and... Oh, he doesn't get it. That's it. That was so close. Yep. That is going to be the game. Alright, guys. Well, that's it. Appreciate everybody tuning in there. Yeah. That, again, was the ARH August League Topcut. So it does look like Rebel Traitor is going to move on. And again, he is going to be up against Stevdav, who is running Kiarimundi, Nianumb, and I believe Strategic Discipline as well. So that'll be an interesting one to watch. And then Norman is still waiting on his opponent, which will be the winner of Beacon and Hypo. So it's shaping up to be an interesting league top cut here. Anyway, I'm going to bed. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you were entertained. It was awesome when Norm was on earlier to give us some meta insights, and just, as always, Norm's philosophical musings are welcomed. So, but yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Take care. Catch you next time.